And we are live. Wednesday Night with Those Guys and Wednesday Night with Those Guys are sponsored by Those Guys.
Welcome everyone, welcome to Wednesday Night with Those Guys. And as you know, Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by Those Guys. And this is where we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of drones. And if the weather has been nice where you are, please let me know in the chat how the weather is where you are and if you've been able to get out and fly your drones. Lawrence, how are you doing on this wonderful Wednesday out there?
I'm doing great, man.
Nicer each day.
Yes, lovely, beautiful day out. I was out flying early this morning by 7:30. I was on my way to the park, and by 9 o'clock, I was done.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was. I'm doing good. What's up? How are you?
I'm all right. Got
What's
to
up with you?
Things happen.
Huh?
Working on a few things, trying to make a few things happen. You know, I guess the season will start up again and ramp up again on some other things, but in a few weeks. So we'll see what's happening. You know, it's an up and down thing, and it's a hard thing to deal with in this with flying drones. But springtime, and this is one of the best times to fly drones. You know, if you guys get out in the spring and fly, the spring is the spring and like the early fall is like the best time to get out and fly. You know, because that's why I think the weather is the best. Like not the early spring, because you know you got to worry. Well, yeah, spring period. Early spring is best because you just get too deep into it and you start getting into all of the rain and stuff like that, and you can't when it's raining. And so you know, you get your time in. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, Stick says greetings from Florida. 83, about to take the third flight of the day, and try 4 different birds today. Have a good show. Thank you, man. We appreciate it. Good luck. I got to fly.
What happened?
I got to fly today. I'm like ecstatic because it was the bird I've been working on.
Well, feel free to hit the like button if you guys like. So, I mean,
yeah, do that, please.
I wasn't coughing until the stream started. What was going on here?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with that.
Well, what's going on? Let me get some cough medicine.
It's cough medicine. Okay, that usually works too.
Drink. I mean,
for sore throats.
Something to drink.
Jim's droning. How are you?
Yeah.
Well, good news. Good news, Jim's droning. Today I did a maiden voyage of this drone that I built here. And if you notice, the front is empty, this front plate right here. It's because I'm going to put the 360 on it, the X3. I have the 3D printed parts and everything. The X3 will hang out above the drone, leaning back, something like that. Okay. At least in theory. But I took her out for a main flight today. She works. She's good on distance. She's good on everything.
Well, you know, in the wonderful world of flight, once the drone is in the air, no one cares what it looks like. So you could always get a tie wrap or something and just tie wrap it in the position you need it to be in.
Hey, Gary, what's up?
You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
So, you know, you can always get that done. So, you know, I mean, but you know, like I was saying, the weather has been getting nicer and nicer here, you know, each day. I mean, you know, it's funny because spring is funny when you get up in the morning. It's like, they said it was going to be 60 degrees today.
Yeah.
It's cold out here. I forgot my hat. But then, you know, the day starts to pick up, and it's still a little breezy at times, but it's all right
in the mornings. But
yeah,
this morning wasn't bad because at 7:30, quarter to 8, I was on my way to the park, and I was like, okay, I'm glad I wore 2 hoodies. But when I got to the park and I finished flying, I had stripped out of 1 hoodie and only had 1 on. I put 1 in my bag. Gary says 75 there. Now, see, Gary, now I like to hit the weather. When you got all that cold and air, you can keep that up there.
Hold on. How you get 75 degrees up there, Gary? I'm listening.
Now you get 75 degrees in front of the oven.
Up in Canada today? I mean, it's not impossible, but I mean, like, how? All right.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, not 75 here, and Jim's in Canada.
All right.
Oh, I got it, Herman.
What happened?
He's had a little bit of that Cuban rum.
Well, you know what? No, I'm not even going to bring that up because it's like when I saw that, I was like, I won't even feed into it.
He says expected freezing later on in the week.
Oh, no. That's not good. But yeah, the weather's been getting better. I mean, eventually
yes,
break, and I'm hoping when it breaks, it's not going to go back. And, like you know how you get those you get a couple of good days here, and then it's like
back teaser weather.
Yeah, then you get a day here, and it's back to cold again for the next 3 days, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got like 3 inches of snow drops or something like that. Like, you could have.
So it is the rum then. Jim Stoning says he's about an hour or less from Gary, and he didn't get no 75 where he was. So it is the rum, huh, Jim? Okay. Hey, Gary. He says it's 14 degrees Celsius now. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
That's not. That's not too cold. That it's actually it's 57. That's 57 degrees.
You sure?
Yeah, I had to break out my Celsius to Fahrenheit converter.
Off Access says it's 47.
Yeah, Access says 47 here on the West Coast. Man, Canada got too many weather changes for me. Well, I hear there's places.
You got to remember that Canada goes across our whole entire northern region of the country, but here we go with this nonsense again. But most of Canada, right, the region of Canada, if you ask me, I would say it's inhabited by humans because most of the people live closer to the United States.
Yes, you're right about that. I saw that video you had sent me. Imaginary borderline. You're right. But I know one thing. I went to
this imaginary borderline. See, here we go with this.
What's up?
You don't do that off Access. You got a couple that feed into that. And then next thing
you want to know what?
It's all kind of nonsense talk going on.
Well, so much for the Canadian syrup coming from up there, because now they're going to charge us an arm and a leg for it.
Well, you're already getting charged an arm and a leg for everything else. I mean, what?
Yeah, true.
Jump on it. I mean, I just want to know how much more, like how much more do you
Ron,
charge for certain things. You know what I mean? Because I already saw the price of the avocados jumped up.
Yes. I got an avocado right here sitting in the window. I want you to guess. I want you to guess how much I paid for this avocado. Herman, hold on.
Oh, here we go. Meanwhile, they probably come from someplace other than Mexico.
It's in the same room. No, this one's not from Mexico.
And they're probably just trying to sell it for more because they let you believe it is.
Come on, there it is.
You got the big pair. Okay.
Yeah, so about how much you think I paid for this avocado?
I couldn't tell you.
$2 whole.
Wow.
Yeah.
What planet did they import that one from?
Listen, all I know is they had the small ones from Mexico, the ones that look like golf balls, for $2 each. And I was like, little one for $2 or much bigger one?
You know what I just find crazy about that? Like,
Coffee crisp chocolate bars for a box of avocado.
I won't even get into it. What happened?
No deal.
What happened?
Marcel says he'll trade me a box of coffee crisp chocolate bars for a box of avocados.
And how is this deal going to go down? Because the shipping would almost make it as to, you know what, let me just buy it in the store.
Listen, it would be the price of a small car to get it across the border. And then it's perishable too.
Then after they finish punting it across customs and kicking it against the wall and throwing it on the truck and then throwing it off the truck and then throwing it on the truck and then throwing it off the truck and then throwing it on the truck again, when you open the box, it's going to be like...
Yep. Going to be really ripe.
No, I'm talking about whatever that is. You said coffee or whatever. Yeah, it's going to be all busted open by the time.
Yeah, true. He just asked Gary if Gary likes the coffee crisp. I don't know if Gary was listening, but apparently it's almost like that stuff from Australia. What's that stuff in a yellow jar that tastes like swill? Vegemite?
Yeah, that stuff you like. I don't know. It looks
no, hell no.
Like a pudding, like a paste or something like that for a spread.
No, bro, I'm good. Stop having flashbacks.
It look almost like jam, like a jam kind of a spread.
That shit don't look nothing like jam. It looks like swill.
I'm trying to help it.
Oh, he says it's nothing like that. Okay.
What's nothing like cool?
All right, let me refresh this page and see how many are in the chat.
Wait a minute, but it's nothing like what?
Like Vegemite? It's worse? What?
I'm just trying to figure out what y'all talking about. Like what's nothing like who?
Those coffee crisp things he's trying to pass off for a box of avocados.
Coffee crisp. You, like I said, you might get a box of nothing or dust one time. You get kicked around in customs and it opens up.
Coffee flavored or smelling dust by the time it gets here.
Yeah. The way they treat things,
Very, very strong possibility.
Like
he says it's just a chocolate bar. Okay.
Like the package we got from Australia, that like somebody was sitting on that and leaning on, like they use it to hold the door open a couple of days.
The people that they smuggled over were sleeping on it or something, made a bed out of it.
Yeah. Something happened to it because whatever happened to that side of the box just literally made a couple of things like an infusion. They don't treat your stuff well. But yeah, you was talking about the roll call. Like, yeah, who do we have in the house with us tonight?
Okay, I got to go back here. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to shout out Gary. Since he started out I'm starting out on the bottom. Shout out to our Canadian friend Gary Brant Ariels. Shout out to him. And Jim's Droning Ariel. Shout out to another Canadian friend listening to us way down here in the States. Big shout out to Marcel Off Axis, who's going to be on here later on at 6 p.m. Shout out to Off Axis. Then we have SJM Steve Drones Media from the UK. Ray of Sunshine, welcome. How are you, dear? I hope all is well. Ray of Sunshine's in the chat, hanging out with us as well. RJ's Ariel, shout out to him. He says he's going to be doing some editing, but still listening. Shout out. Corey, YACL310, says hello to all from Queens, New York. Then we have, Louisiana Helicam, who stopped in and said he had to break out really quick. John Olson from Long Island, listening in the cut.
John Olson, what's going on?
Along with Waypoint New England, shout out to you. I think his name is Brian. Limp Sticks It. He stopped by to say hello. He's about to burn his fourth drone for today. Hope he's listening to the stream. I said Waypoint New England. Did I not? Nope. Waypoint New England, shout out to you. And of course, early in the stream, Frank Rizzo was here, which will probably come back in at some time and point. And I believe we are almost done. One more shout out to the man from the Bronx, Stevie, Capture Life Connection. What's up, Stevie? How are you, man? Yo, you still flying FPV, Stevie? And Dan the man, he gets 2 explosions. Dan the man gets a double explosion just because it's him, and he's got to do stuff like that. All right, we're done. We're done with roll call. See, Stevie done got a camera that you can see a pimple on the moon with, and he done. Leonard, what's good? He's laid down his drones for a while. I'm guessing because I've been seeing him do stuff with his camera.
Who, Stevie?
What does he say? I flew FPV 3 weeks ago. Oh man,
are you talking about?
He got dust on his fingers, rust. His joystick is rusting up like this, man, from not being flown. I hope it's all for business. Yeah, he's focused on other things. I got you. Totally understandable. And I do understand that because not all of us can eat, drink, and sleep drones all day and all night. If you do, hey, what's up, East Coast Thrills? I flew FPV this morning, backed into a palm tree. Not good. I flew today. I burned 3 packs this morning, and by 9 a.m., I was walking home.
Stevie said he's focused on other things.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's definitely cool. I understand it. Understand it all. People transition in and out of this drone game, and then some make it a part of their life. Knock the bolts out of my flight controller. So now I'm at Lowe's getting screws. Oh, wow. See, that's a true FPV head.
Whoa, what happened? What knocked the
East Coast Thrill says he flew his drone into a palm tree, and he knocked the bolts out of his flight controller, the 4 bolts, like motorboats bolts.
Okay.
So now he's getting new screws to replace them.
Okay.
That would be the best place to get them, though. Well, we appreciate you listening to us from inside Lowe's.
Okay, Lowe's, they got those screws there?
You can improvise. Because the hole is a certain size and you have to have a certain height so it doesn't touch the top of your frame and all of that. If not, yeah, you can find something. It won't be metric, though. It won't be metric. It'll be American. You can find something pretty close.
See.
Jim's Droning says Amazon.
Oh, man. Yeah, funny. That's funny. You go in there and try to improvise. You just tearing up the damn threads if it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's not metric. It's not that. Most of the FPV stuff is metric.
Oh, I hear you, but you know what, Lawrence? is I don't know if anybody been checking it out, but they got it over at on the DJI store, the spring sale.
What do they got at the DJI store?
Oh,
You
a
mean
couple
this
of
one? This one right here?
well, a couple of things. Exclusive rewards, where you got the Power 1000, which is that beautiful
Right here.
portable power station for $699. It's back up to $699, and I might have a little treat for you guys later on. But there's
A treat.
there's a
Okay.
few things here. They got a couple of drones here on sale,
And 25% DJI reward credit.
basically that's it. The DJI reward credit on these.
Okay, look to check it out. The Mini 4 Pro.
Yeah, but you see, check them out, Lawrence. What else we got here?
We got the Mini 4 Pro here for $759 with the RCN2 controller. And the Air 3S with the RCN3. That's without the screen, but it's for $1,000.
Okay.
That's not bad, but not good enough to make me switch to OcuSync 4. Then, of course, they got the action cam. Now, this is a steal.
They're still pushing that.
They're still pushing the 4 for $200.
They did have the 5 up there.
They just dropped the 5, right?
They dropped the 5 off. They did have the 5 up.
Now, the Osmo Pocket at $519 is seeming really affordable, too. But I still like my Osmo with the tiny screen. Makes me have to put my glasses on.
But I guess it's more about the credits and stuff like that on this deal.
Yeah, but not everything is on sale because this RS Mini 3 is just going for $237. If you got a camera and you wanted an RS Mini, I think that would be the move. But this DJI Vata Flymore kit for $182, it's regularly $279. So that one has a percentage off. That's a pretty good deal there as well. And of course they have your Mavic 3 Pro. That's going for the same price.
Yeah, well, that price. Well, you know what? In comparison to what we may be looking at with the next drone coming up,
we're going to talk about that later on.
They may not change this price. You know what I mean? But I guess the free water bottles and stuff like that they're giving away and all of that is tempting with it. But
hello.
Yeah, what happened? He disappeared.
The power just blinked.
Oh, sorry about that. But yeah, I guess it's all about getting the free water bottles and stuff with this deal now, because most of the good stuff was happening earlier on.
Hey, Lance.
Because they did have the Action 5 on this sale for a minute there. And it was actually going at a pretty nice little price there for you if you could have jumped on it. And hopefully, if guys had seen it before I was able to talk to you about it, they was able to jump on it and get that. But
Stevie says he's selling his DJI Mini 3, tri-state area only, cash.
The Mini 3?
Yeah, somebody need one.
Okay.
You know, up on Facebook.
You know what's funny? I have the Mini 2, right, which is probably my most protected drone ever.
Why so?
Because it doesn't go outside.
At $1 being 1.44 Canadian, I'd be watching others fly the Mavic 4. Jim's droning says. Well, Jim's droning. We're going to get into the price.
Well, you might have a point there, Jim. But you know what I did want to talk to you guys about, and I saw this, and I've heard a lot about a lot of scams and stuff like that guys see on different sites and stuff like that, and guys see like because I remember a few years back, right? This was like more than 3-4 years ago, right? When they had the Inspire
Oh yes, on Amazon. Yeah,
Inspired 2 on sale for like how much? It was like dirt cheap.
it was like hundreds. It was
Yeah,
something. It was some incredibly low price, and people were across the
just
United States
order
and around the world were ordering 10 at a time. And I remember one
it. And then,
dude. You remember Herman? One dude was like, "When I get my 5 in, I'll send you and Herman one, Lawrence." You remember that?
yeah, but what I'm saying is when we get down to all of it, it's like this keeps happening over and over and over again. But I was on Amazon and I saw something because I was always flirting around to see because the Power 1000, and I've talked about it from the time I purchased it because I got it at I thought was a good price, and I started to talk about it. And ever since I started talking about it, I started to notice the price was dropping on it. And then the price went back, started sneaking back up on it. And every now and then you see a good little deal on it here and there. And I was
Around
searching.
the holidays, they had some really good prices.
Yeah, they did. And I was sneaking around recently to see if I can find something see if I can find a better price. But everything is based upon DJI's price. And I saw on Amazon this thing here that they had with the Power, what is it? The Power 1000, where the Power 1000 had this ridiculous price that I could not understand. You have that, Lawrence?
I have this Amazon link right here. I thought it had changed.
Did it?
It changed.
It did change.
It was cheaper than this. Amazon actually had it. This was the morning. No, when you sent it to me, Amazon had it for $200 and something. But am I correct?
No. Right here, the $4.99. Click on that. Click on that.
On the $4.99. Okay, hold on.
$4.99.
Hold on a second. Let me go here.
Click on that one. Yeah, click on that one. Now, this one here was supposedly starting on, I guess, was that the 21st? Does it say that in the ad?
No. See, this one said the 24th to the 27th.
Okay.
And it wasn't it was $299 or it was 200 or something I saw when you first sent it to me. And it has changed since then.
Right.
So I do remember it. Huh?
So what I'm saying to you is that if you go to Amazon, right? Because that was what I was wondering and I was looking for, because I was curious to know if that was good, that $4.99. And I see.
Well, here's something that's strange.
And I see it here again, limited, right?
Yes.
Limited.
Now, see, I went back to the page and now it's $6.99. You understand? Hold it. Let me refresh the page.
Are you looking at the wrong thing?
Oh, this is yeah. I'd have to pull up.
You're looking at the wrong thing. Right there in front of you, where it says the Power 1000 and the bag, the carry.
Here it is.
Is $4.99, right? Now this was supposed to start at a certain date time, which was the 21st.
Right, and now they have. Oh.
Now that's free delivery.
That's delivery by the 24th, the 23rd.
And this is a limited time. So if I were guys, I would go, if you're interested in it, I would go over to Amazon and check that out.
And look around. Yeah.
Because $4.99, hopefully it's not some kind of a scam, but what you can do, and I'll tell you this to help you out. You can put it in your cart, right? And then contact Amazon.
See, Tom says he got his for $350 from Amazon, DJI Direct.
Okay.
See. And the prices are varying. You just gotta catch them.
Okay.
So you just gotta catch them.
Yeah, that is
cheaper than what we got ours for.
Yeah. Everybody that I put on to it just got it for cheaper than I did. But At least I didn't pay the $1,000 when they came out with it originally.
True. Because we thought we would. You thought for a decent price, right?
Yeah, I thought I was getting the deal.
Now I know when they come out with the Power 2000, we're just gonna sit in the cut.
Well, I'm hoping that there's no need for it with the expansion stuff. The expansions and stuff.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, honestly.
For what its use case, it's not. It's not like something that let me throw it in my jacket pocket to take it with me to charge up my cell phone or something.
Tom says go back and look at the $4.99. He thinks there was a coupon in green. From what I see here, Tom, it says or 83. Let me hold on. Pull it back up.
On the Power 1000, it says
Power 1000 right here in stock.
It's a limited.
In green is this. It just says or $83.17 a month. I don't know. I can't see the chat, but 55% off. And this is the 1024 one. So,
well, I just went. I'm talking about going to their site now, and going to their site now. It says
Power 1000. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it from scratch here. Hold on a second. Let me just go home, share this page, go here, share.
Unless I got a personal virus in my computer.
Amazon, hold on. No, we'll go here and we'll put in the Power 1000. Okay. The $6.99. Here's the 4. See, $3.79 with coupon. Tom was correct.
But you're looking at the 500.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one.
I'm talking about
the one with the coupon. It was the portable 500, Tom.
Look below
That's what
it.
I see here.
Can you see the one below it? Am I the only one that sees that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right here.
That's what I'm talking about.
The $4.99 one. That's this one, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
listen, it's worth it if you can freaking get it.
I don't know what's the deal with that one.
They apparently have a lot because they go up and down in price to like the stocks and shit.
But if you look at what it says, right? If you go to, because I try to look at all of these things so that it's not, because even myself, if I'm purchasing something, I don't want to get caught out there. It says ship direct, right? Ship from DJI direct, sold by DJI direct.
Right.
So I mean, it looks and seems legit to me. I mean,
it does, but you have to watch. What you have to watch out for, Herman, is it says shipped by DJI direct on there and shipped by Amazon. But does that mean do you have to wait a week because it's sitting in customs, or they claim by the 24th to 27th? Today's the 19th, so that's next week.
Honestly, it doesn't matter because from the time that mine was actually shipped when I got it, it didn't take that long.
Okay, right. So it would take about a week
I got
to get here.
Didn't even take a week.
Really?
When I got the message that it was shipped, didn't even take a week.
Okay.
And then you can't even return these things. So
yeah, I know. And there's nobody.
So I mean, I guess it's all good. It's all legit.
Yeah, that's it. That's the link, Tom, right there.
Yeah, it's all
Tom
legit.
posted the link right there, and this is with the bag.
With the bag. Ain't that about a
blip? Didn't we get the bag separate? Yeah, right. Is there one that comes with a towel? Marcel says.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying.
One that comes with what? A towel?
Yeah.
And the water bottle, right?
And a water bottle. A
And you
towel
want
and a water bottle.
and you want and probably the Mount Chomaloma t-shirt too, right?
All of that. It's got to come with it.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yo, you know what, Lawrence? The South Florida drone
We
meetup.
missed our first sponsor by 6 minutes, but
well,
okay.
let's go get the sponsor. We'll come back. We'll talk about the South Florida drone meetup because this is coming up.
And the visor hat.
For a live stream that talks about everything in the drone world. Tune in every Wednesday night to Wednesday Night with those guys.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah. Actually, DJI sent me a loaner when I had to send my unit in for warranty. Get out. He said, Tom says he loves his Power 1000. DJI sent him a loaner when he had to send his unit in for warranty when it bricked on a firmware update.
Wow. You know what? It bricked on the firmware update.
Yes, I've heard of it happening. Very, very rare, but I've heard of one or two people.
I was funny.
They were having firmware update issues, I should say. I didn't hear that exact thing happen.
No, hold on. I wasn't too sure how to do that firmware update myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was like, I don't know if you had to stand on one foot and scratch your head and rub your stomach at the same time, or if you had to. No, because if you go, if you go and check out how they tell you to do it, right? And then you go on YouTube and check out the videos that tell you how to do it, you'd be like,
Tom says a few early units had a bad main board.
And yeah, it was a lot of craziness.
Unless you were using the dongle to do it.
No, what I did was I downloaded the Assistant 2 for the because it's not the same for the drones or the enterprise drones. It's another
they have their own version of an assistant.
So I got like a couple of assistants in my computer. So that's what I used to do the firmware update.
All right.
Because other than that, I'd have been going nuts. But yeah, the South Florida drone meetups.
Go ahead.
South Florida. Remember everybody?
It's coming up soon.
It's coming up. You know, and what is it? About 2 weeks or so? Two?
Give or take. Yeah, I believe so. The first weekend in April, right?
Whoa. Yeah, we were down there last year. I wish I could make it, but tomorrow starts this thing I got to take care of, and I can't make it. But we were down there last year. We did have a lot of fun, and I wanted to find the video to play the video, but I couldn't. I don't know why I can't find my own
Tom
video.
says he's going to be there on the 2nd.
Oh, damn. I wish I could have been there. Tom's going to be there. I wish I could have been there. But yeah, we had a good last year. Remember this?
Yes, the drop that those guys drop. Yeah. You should find the video for next week. Because it'll be the last week before. Well, no, we have time. Yeah, next week will be the last week before. It'll be the last week before the event.
I don't know what hard drive is sitting in. It's somewhere. It should be. It should be somewhere where I can find it. But I'm not understanding what happened to it.
Okay.
Well, we got a couple of things to talk about tonight. One in particular.
What's up, Tony?
Seems to be popping up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's all over the place, and we've been talking about it for like the last month, or I want to say, how long have we been talking about? I almost thought the drone was out last week. You know, the Mavic 4.
Yeah.
When we talk about it so much, I almost thought it was out already. You know, but the one thing I wanted to ask you, Lawrence, is what happened to the Trek? You know, we've been talking about this, the Trek. We talked about that a long time ago, and it seems like our old man Jasper, who has been real close now, I see now working with them over at Drone XL. Kudos to you. But the Trek, what's going on with the Trek, Lawrence?
Well, people, they came out with it. They did new shots with it, the whole whole PR thing, and it seems that they put it on pause as for
Really?
now. It's at least until later on in the year. Who knows? It may not make it at the end of the year. But
They say
everything that was on the list expected to come out up until the Mavic 3 has come out, including the Air 3 and all of that stuff. And this tracker is one of the few things on that list that just can't seem to make it to market.
So it didn't say it was canceled, right? It did say it was canceled.
It has not said it was canceled, but there's talk. There was talk of some tweet or someone was talking about some type of delay. But then I found out that delay had to do with the Mavic 4. Then someone said, don't believe the delay. So I couldn't tell you. But this is from March 12th.
But Jasper didn't say in this tweet that there was this thing was supposed. He's not saying that.
No.
Okay, we got that clear. So it's not. So he's not saying that it's canceled.
No. And then you have the next,
because he had on the 14th another post on this thing, which was a part 2.
That's this one here. That's this one here. Was the RC track canceled because it is reserved for the Mavic 4 Pro, or was it pulled out because of safety issues? My trusted source shows new leaks and promised me return of the beacon. Now, are they hinting when the 4 comes out that you'll see it? Because I don't know. That's definitely not the 4 in the photo here.
Okay.
If you click on that photo there, that's definitely not the 4.
Well, I guess it's supposed to be mimicking, but I mean, listen, the guys over at Drone XL had exclusive on this, them and Jasper, but pretty much exclusive on it, especially on the photos. But on the 15th, didn't Jasper post a 3rd edition to this track? To I mean, with the Mavic 4. I mean, I'm just wondering what the heck is going on, because
this right here, this one is interesting, because if you look at the specifications here, you can pretty much see that it supports the Air 3S, the Mini 4 Pro. The next thing in line would be the Mavic 4.
Okay.
On OcuSync 4, which means this beacon will work on OcuSync 4, meaning they could be holding it for the Mavic.
But what about 4 Plus? Because
that's a possibility too. But look, it says new images of the canceled track revealed exciting specifications for the Air 3S and the Mini 4 Pro, which we know are already on OcuSync 4. This beacon controller, in order to work with those, have to be on OcuSync 4.
But okay, because I'm just looking at, when you start getting into what this beacon does and stuff like that. I'll talk to you about it later. But what the beacon is surmised to be, what we assume that it's supposed to do with the drone. I'm just curious to know how you can get away with it with like the drone, such as the Mavic 4 and of its size and stuff like that, and flying it without your hands being on the controller.
Well, see, the other tweet did mention something about there may be safety issues. If you don't have your hand on the controller and you're using this beacon and you're skateboarding and that thing goes piling into the side of a building, car window,
Oh,
whatever. I don't know.
well, I
I think
mean,
Tom seems to think 4+ also.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Oh, he's laughing at 4+. Okay, I got it.
yeah. You know, they got I
Yeah,
see the 4 plus when they come out with the the Mavic series, and then next thing you know is the next drone coming out. It's on the next AccuSync something else. They've done that from the last 2 series of drones. That's why they
yeah.
have a need for a new pro controller. You know, I
Tom
don't know.
said he says that the Mavic 4 was delayed because people want to attend the South Florida drone meetup. Yeah,
That's
that's
what
it. You want to
that's
make
what
a
it is.
trip to Florida, or do you want a new drone?
I
Or do you
hear
want
you.
both?
I hear you, Tom.
Or do you want both? Well, Herman and I have our own speculations on
but
how much that thing is going to actually cost. We're going to get into it a little later
you know
on.
what, though, Lawrence? Jasper did have another post on the 15th, didn't
On the 15th,
he?
yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah,
Right here, this one
yeah, he did. Yeah, I
that
believe.
goes now for something different. Here's the first Mavic 4 sample.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Image is leaked by Chinese influencer on TikTok, and
Mm-hmm.
some more proof on zooming capabilities of the drone, which
Right.
means if the Chinese influencers have this, the American influencers have the Mavic 4 too. If you've
Do they?
noticed, you haven't seen or heard tale of influencers yet, all them dudes.
Nothing.
You haven't seen or heard a peep from them.
Well, I like this
Everybody's
because,
doing their video now, Herman.
but what I like here is what the zoom shows. You know, this building in the fog way out there in the back.
Yeah.
And then as it pulls it in and you see it there, and then you see it
The
now.
one times, you have the one times,
Yeah,
then
I
this
like
one down here is
like
2 times,
Mm-hmm.
and then the final one, which is 15 times.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that. I like that.
And they boast to be
Mm-hmm.
like the Mavic 3 was one of the first drones. Well, this would be the first Mavic 4 with the 2.5 times zoom.
Well, it's the only drone that supposedly has that. What we did want to get into was the fact that didn't your man was it X Drone Studios? He had another post that came out also on this thing because hey
Angie, what's up? How are you? Yeah, this right here. Very descriptive. A lot of stuff on here.
So now he's going into talking about what the zoom and stuff here, right? On this, So both of
and
these
the
guys,
different shooting modes.
right? Talking about the zoom and the shooting modes, right? So well, let's get into what we know about this drone,
right? Well, translated said DJI Mavic 4 some official knowledge definitions. Mm-hmm. That's what it says in whatever Latin language that's in, because it's obvious X-Drones is somewhere in South America or something to that effect. But the pictures here, it says it can shoot 4K at 120. That's a dream for me in itself.
Well,
See 4K and 60 frames, 6K.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of stuff on this drone. Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff on this drone. Yeah, because let's talk about this, because let's off the top. Everybody wants to know about, and believe it or not, is the camera. So what we assume and we expect to see on the 2 secondary cameras, right, with the 2 small sensors, is an increased size on those sensors, right? We really expect to see that, right? And we also know that we're expecting to see it and built-in variable and the electronic filters on this camera. As what we also expect is the variable aperture on these cameras as well, right?
Yes. Yep.
So now we're also expecting vertical shooting, and we both know that we've also covered this, that it supposedly tilts both ways up to 179 degrees, right? We do know that, right? Lawrence, you still with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I'm listening. I was reading the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. So we also know that we also going to get with the Hasselblad camera, right? With the 4/3 sensors with 20 megapixels, and f2 at 24 millimeters and length on that lens, with the two secondary cameras on that, which will have one, which we expecting a 1/1.5 inch sensor at 48 megapixels at f2 2.8 with 60 millimeters, and the other one, which should be the same size and everything else is all the same, but at 145 millimeters will be expected, and at 100 millimeters stitched in the stitch mode for this camera. So that's what we're expecting, but I don't believe that we're going to see 8K like a lot of people keep 8K.
Not for a while. No, they're just pushing the 6K mark with their drones.
6K.
You want 8K, you got to get an Inspire.
So I believe you're going to see you probably see 6K, probably 60 frames per second. I'm thinking, and what we definitely
that's what it is.
We do believe that we're going to get a true 4K at 120, right? We do.
Yes.
But on the Pro version, we're going to have a built-in of 100 with 512 megabytes of storage capacity, and on Sin version, you're going to get something like about 2 terabytes. They're talking. So there could be some improvements to the ProRes and what it's able to record at and but so that's left on the CN to talk about. But I don't know. As far as improve flight time, it's alleged 50 minutes from what I'm understanding. What we have, which is a 95 watt hour battery,
right,
which is an improvement from the previous model. The new, we all know about the new charging hub, the 100 and the 240 watt charging hub. They're both supposed. I don't know if they're both, but it says about parallel charging hub. So we'll see what's going on with this parallel charging hub. Obstacle avoidance. Some of the drones, like we know with the Air 3S, we know it had like a LiDAR, and a lot of people were wondering if this drone going to see LiDAR. I don't know, because I haven't really too understanding on what on whether or not they're going to have this on that drone or not, from what I've seen. But
I think it's up in the air.
Yeah,
I think it's up in the air too.
I do too. But I do believe you're going to see an improvement on the in the sensors for the obstacle avoidance.
Those are definitely not. Those are. I can tell you that those are, from the pictures I've seen, are definitely not first generation fisheye obstacle avoidance.
These are going to be some newer I believe sensors on this drone. This drone is going to have a slightly better sensor capability, because the technology is getting better. We all speculate on a price on this thing. I don't want to talk too much about price just yet, but there was a few things that I did see that, a couple of tweets that came out. But before that, we were talking before about the camera and the zoom on this camera. And the zoom on this camera was something that really, really interests me because me personally, I was never that guy that had a really much of a problem with the zoom on the camera.
Right.
From where it was before, as far as with the Mavic 3 when it originally came out. I know a lot of people complained about it, but I was just never that guy that played around with the zoom too much. And then I found ways of actually playing with it and being able to do certain things with it. And since it has improved, you find usages for it. But with the Phantom, with the Mavic 4 Pro being the only drone with, we said 2.5x zoom. There were some pictures that was exclusive. Like I said, Drone XL had exclusive pictures on this drone, and we saw that we had this here with the standard zoom on this drone here with this picture that they had, and there was some other photos that they had dropped with the original test image on this drone. Yeah, see,
I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, now you see the little, I guess, I don't know what you would call it. It's a house or gazebo or whatever.
Gazebo, yeah, you could call it a gazebo.
Yeah, in America, that's what we would call it. But the other photos that they had on it was the same of the original test photo zoom, as you see where they start to zoom crop in. On this is a crop in on the original of the test photo. Right. Now, they also show the original test photo totally cropped in detail. Now,
and it's still clean.
Right. And this was something that a lot of people were complaining about before in other images that was taken with previous model to the drone, even with the improvements from the 3 to the 3 Pro. So I don't know. What do you think?
I can't wait to see one in action, honestly. For a simple reason, I want to see everything this thing can do. I wouldn't mind putting one in my hands or obtaining one. It's going to be up in the air because that price, you're going to pay the price of maybe the old school Mavic 3 Sin.
What, about 28 or something? Well, I was hearing prices ranging from 28, and then with the Sin starting somewhere about $3,000 and running, $4,000 and going up. So I don't know.
Eldon says he still thinks the Air 2 and 2S frame is the perfect size drone in the air. The 3 and the Mavic 3 are big drones, so with the increased battery capacity, yes, but we needed a bigger consumer drone, Eldon. Seriously. Yeah. We needed a bigger consumer drone because right now your Mavic 3 is rated at 31 miles per hour in 31 mile per hour winds. Your Air 2S can handle that in sports mode. Now we have a slightly bigger drone, so that wind capacity to be able to handle the wind is going to. You understand what I'm saying? A bigger drone means it can handle stronger winds.
That's what you're thinking, Tom, because that's with one battery and the controller. I'm looking at
2,600 with the Sin definitely past 3,000. I could see the same thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Air 3S is faster than the Mavic 3 Pro. Yeah, it's a school bus. It's the early stages of a minivan, let's say.
Well, I mean, how much faster do you actually need this thing to shoot? or to move. Because I personally feel that it moves pretty well. I thought that the Phantoms moved pretty well.
Going to be getting cold feet on the Mavic 4. Eldon says. He says he uses the RC Pro 2 controller.
Big birds and stuff like that to really move. You get into a big bird that's designed to really move.
That's true.
Because some of the other big birds out there are really not designed to move.
Exactly. Now think about this.
Like your Air 2 not cinematic shooters. They just do what they're supposed to do.
The Air 2S and the Air 2S and the Air 3 are that perfect size. Mm-hmm. Could fit anywhere, any small bag. When you got the Mavic 3, you need a much bigger bag. Now that they're coming out with the Mavic 4, you're going to be carrying this thing in a case, a backpack.
Oh man, I don't know what you're talking about. They're not. Listen, look at your man. What Igor say, Lawrence?
It's the big brother to the Mavic 3. Yeah, look how much bigger it is. Yeah, the camera in itself is extends past the camera on the Mavic.
Okay, and you know what? And I'm glad we brought that up because all it's designed to do is to stick out a little further, and so that there's no listen. Now,
no obstruction when the screen turns 129 degrees
that everybody has had about being able to see things, the props, the legs, whatever.
Yep, gone.
It's all gone now.
Right, that's true. When the Mavic 3 and other birds before that series, before the Mavic 4, on certain angles, you could see your props or your legs, depending on what angle and speed you were flying at. That is true.
Didn't your man post yesterday, Igor, something about the camera system on the camera unit on the drone? Because I think that everybody is worried. If you bump into anything, that's the first thing that's going to hit.
Hold on, let me open it in a new tab.
The nose of that drone is going to just.
Let me open it in the tab to bring it up, because
I'm just curious.
You're 100.
What he said about it.
Is it?
What?
That is the tab. Is that the tab I want? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's too big for the window. Here it is. This right here.
Yeah. What was it? Can you bring up what he said about it? Because
Mavic 4 camera unit. There have been Darth Vader memes before. What will yours be? And if you look at it, if people have done little CGI,
I've seen that. That's why I'm
Darth Vader. So this will be your optimum camera. Seriously, this is the way to go. The fact that this thing turns vertically, and you can use your camera vertically, either 179 degrees to the left or 179 degrees to the right. And that's what that's what that's for, right? Hollywood has this effect where you start horizontal and you go vertical and then you go back horizontal again.
Now, you think they'll be able to stay in record mode while that's happening, or is it just?
Yes.
We're hoping for that.
I'm speculating, but it should be. You know why? Because your common cell phone can do it now. So you can go from vertical. Remember, you would turn it, and your camera and picture would be. They've eliminated that. A lot of social media influencers, Luna, our friend Luna Pearl, who's a great female pilot and editor, she does that with her phone. I'll have her phone like this and twist it to vertical.
Okay.
And it shows up. It doesn't stop recording. So that would be a great feature. Good morning, Rob. Feet on the ground.
What's up, Rob? Would you know what, though, Lawrence? Because Jasper came back again with the same photos and this other tweet on this thing.
The big drone, no wonder it's expected to be a bit heavier than the predecessor. And to be honest, I kind of start to love the camera design. Looks a lot cleaner than all the previous Pentagon versions.
But you know what?
It is, but we'll still need ND filters. I'm thinking, Tom.
Yeah, because if you start getting into doing other shooting and wanting to shoot, then you're gonna have to go higher than the built-in filters that's in it. I can't remember. I think it does it go up to 16 or 64. I'm not sure, but if you want to do anything else, you're gonna probably need other filters to go on the front and drop it back to the without a filter and put a filter on the front. So we'll see what happens with it. There'll be a whole world of people making products for it, but a lot of people believe that this is the last DJI drone.
256, Tom says it goes to.
Oh, really? Internal. So there won't be a need for any filters. All right, let's see. Because the original talk that was out there that it wasn't. That it wasn't.
If demand drops, the price will drop.
What happened?
True. Jody.
Well, I don't know what. We'll see. But the one thing that we were all talking about was a new controller, and there was pictures out there earlier.
It's 6:00.
Yeah, I know. There was pictures earlier out there about this controller. You remember that picture?
Yes.
The earlier picture with they showed with the flip up
with the built-in screen and all of that.
The flippy. But there was some stuff floating around there on Twitter.
I'm listening. I'm on Facebook sending out
showing this here frame and a couple of guys holding the controller here. One guy holding the controller, and it's a nice look for that controller.
Yeah,
it's going to be a nice controller we're going to get here.
That's interesting. The fact that they're introducing another controller. Tom says it better be 2,000 nit.
Well, we'll see because we also
make more money off the drones we already have. Realistically, there are minimal differences between the Mini 4 and the Mavic 3.
Okay.
What
happened? No, I'm not going to say that one, but there was talk about the props, new props for this drone.
Yeah, push and twist. Traditional locking system. Started way back with the Phantom 4 Pro.
So there's been talk about new props.
These props look real. They look wider than your standard prop.
But you know what, Lawrence? We got the man himself.
4K at 240. Okay, yes, we got
the man himself in the back.
Okay. Marcel, off axis.
Howdy, everybody.
What's up, man? How are you? Thank you for coming into the live stream, because I'm trying to do something a little FPV every week.
Oh yeah.
And it, even though it's already a job setting up for the stream, we have to do something FPV. I fly FPV, and believe it or not, I fly FPV. I like FPV more than flying camera drones. But if you want to introduce yourself with those who, I'm surprised if you don't know them, you should.
Who don't know them?
You probably don't.
Introduce yourself.
So I'm the Canadian pilot up here. I've been flying for about 8 years. Been on your guys' live streams for quite a long time. Actually won a T-shirt way back. I didn't even remember when.
Okay, all right.
Guys, bros. It's a little too cold here. Otherwise, I'd have my sweater off. But I've been around. I've never made it to the United States to fly with you guys, of course. But I'm up here in Canada lurking and hoping some people come up here to fly with us. But the reason you brought me up is the World Long Range Challenge series that we're doing on my channel with a couple other pilots from around the world. And hopefully you guys will be special judges in the future and during the series. But we're going to have all kinds of guest judges. The whole challenge is to just bring the communities together. FPV, camera drones, wings, airplanes, whatever you got that's RC. I called it the long range challenge and realized after a little while that there was a lot of Karens out there. I should have called it maybe something a little different, but the idea isn't really to do anything illegal or go the farthest or anything like that. It's more about challenges. So different type of cinematic type shot challenges, right? So doing gaps from a distance, stuff like that, chasing waterfalls, different things like that. So each challenge is going to be represented by a different judge, and each judge has a little bit different eye on different type of footage. One guy has a lot more experience with color grading and stuff like that. Another guy has really good tuning tips and stuff. So, and just be able to have all the communities come together, not just camera drones, not just FPV. So it's not even about the drone, what you're flying. It's more about just getting the shot. So I think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of sponsors from all over the world. And the best part about this is there are no products to be sent to anybody until you buy to whatever you want. So everything's going to be coupon code based and gift card based.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. So you're going to break this up into different categories of different types of equipment that's used to shoot this, such as like you said, anything that flies that you can film with. So,
so it's everybody versus everybody.
Like camera drone, fixed wing, or say FPV, as opposed to say even a camera I put on, let's say like my plane that I fly around and do flips and tricks and stuff like with.
Your aquaplane.
Yeah.
It's really about any of them. So it's open to any type of aircraft. So there's no challenges that are specific to any type of aircraft.
I got you.
Again, it's really just about the cinematic shots that you can get with the cameras and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Now you said
what do you think on that, Mark?
You said you've been flying for 8 years, right?
Yeah, I think this year's like my 8th year.
Okay, so what protocol are you flying with now? And what's your favorite drone? Because there's analog digital, there's digital analog, there's the analog world still lives in the digital world. For some reason, in the analog world, they think everything digital is going to die. And in the digital world, everyone thinks everything analog is going to die. What's your
totally?
What do you fly? What do you fly?
I fly it all, really. I mean, no, I don't. I shouldn't say that. I don't fly it all. I fly all types of aircrafts, but I don't fly DJI camera drones anymore. That's kind of usually something that gets me back and forth. So I don't fly any DJI products, not even FPV. I've been flying analog, of course, since the beginning. I still fly analog on most of my aircrafts. But the other video system I use is HD0. We joke around and call it spicy analog for the reason it has the same kind of breakup analog has. It gets kind of snowy like an old TV.
It doesn't do like digital freezes up on you and pixelate.
Right. Or blackout and then come back on whenever it feels like. And then for radio link, I just use Express LRS or Crossfire. Crossfire has been very reliable. The problem with Crossfire, it's a little bit more expensive, and sometimes shipments, you can't get the shipment in on certain stores up here in Canada. Express LRS is open source. Everybody has a version, and they're very affordable.
They are. There's got to be at least. This is just off the top of my head, but maybe 10 different FPV companies that all make Express LRS.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Yep. So happy model. If you have your favorite radio, you can you told me. In fact, if I'm getting into ELRS, Radio Master's good. A lot of less problems, and that's all I have. I have a Radio Master Radio TX, and all I have a Radio Master receivers.
RXs, yeah. Oh, they're great. It's a good brand. Happy Metal is also a good ELRS manufacturer, but Happy Metal has always been like the affordable, cheap, like reliable brand.
Yeah,
not the best, but works.
I was waiting for you to send me a video on one of your flights, because I see you do a little bit of everything on your page. I'm looking here. Now, let's see, what's this here? And you have an off-axis store. That's interesting.
I've got merchandise on 2 different platforms of stores. I've got one that's called Zazzle. It's kind of like more like merch. Like I've got like a battery lunchbox type situation thing there. I've got other types of clothes, and then my TeePublic is like T-shirts and hats and stuff like that, and stickers.
Okay. All right.
For footage, though, I mean, you could put any footage, really. I could give you one here. I'll open up a tab. But another thing maybe you might want to bring up on your stream that maybe you guys don't really know about in the FPV hobby side of things, and all over drones, actually, is the information about T-Motor and how they've very basically been banned from the United States now. I don't know if you guys
T-Motor's been banned. Are you serious? I just put some T-Motors on my bird a few weeks back. I didn't hear about that.
Why?
You can buy stock that they already have in the United States.
It's already here in the States, but everything's been banned from No wonder they went offline on Facebook and.
Well, they're now called T-Hobby.
T-Hobby. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up on that.
That's how they do it now. They just switch the name.
That's how they do it now. Yeah.
How do you think, really quick before we let you get out of here, what do you think real quick is going to be the thing for FPV, and what do you think is going to happen to FPV in the future? Because I see a lot of it being used in Hollywood and places like that. You can't go anywhere without seeing some type of FPV shot. It's not just a camera drone, but you see a lot of FPV stuff. Where do you think it's going in the world? What do you think is going to happen with the prices of a board that used to be $40 that's now $125 a stack? You know what I'm saying?
I think those prices are going to change eventually. It's going to take a little bit of time, like everything does. But I believe still drones are still going to be a lot more in the sky than we've seen. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be like that issue they had in the States with those drones all over the skies, and everyone was going crazy about. It's going to be like that, but it's going to be worldwide. You know, there's going to be delivery drones. There's going to be, people inside of drones flying to different areas. You know, they're already doing it in what's it called? Where is that part of the world? Bali, I think, right?
In
Bali. They've really got all kinds of different technology that, there's people racing jetpacks, right? They're flying through the sky. And
and they're getting ready to start racing flying cars as well.
There's a lot of things coming. There's a lot of things coming. And the drones that we know of are changing too.
Oh yeah, big time.
This is true.
Yeah, I don't think anything's getting canceled. That's for sure. It's all going to get more affordable as things progress. We're still tapping into the technology and still learning. So, yeah, we're not Jetsons yet. So,
well, I wanted to thank you for coming on, because we're trying to give everybody like a little 10 to 12-minute segment. But I thought it was important that you come on and describe this contest again. I have it right here. Let's see the window. Here it is. The banner. You guys can see this on screen?
Heck yeah.
Okay. There's your banner. I will post it up in the Those Guys group.
Share the link to the contest and everything like that. And guys, please, feel free to jump on that and get into the contest, no matter whatever, wherever you fit in. And also feel free.
It applies to everyone,
right? Feel free to share your video, your FPV videos with us here, and we'll highlight your video and bring you on the channel.
Heck,
you know what? I'll even open it up to guys with camera drones. If you got camera drone video,
yeah, that's what you're looking for, right? And this is registration starts where? On your Discord or
April 1st, Tuesday, April 1st, we're going to do a live stream. There is a link in the videos, the last 2 videos on my YouTube channel. That invites you to the Discord. Once you join the Discord, there is a channel that has all the information, and then also
Angie wants to know if she can share it on her Facebook. I will forward it to you, Angie. I will forward you a copy.
There's also a link to his YouTube channel in the description. So guys, if you check out the description, I also always tell you guys, feel free to check out the description because there's a link in it to his YouTube channel. So
and as we get closer, I'll pop the banner up to remind people. Don't forget to go to your channel to jump in and sign up for this contest. Camera, drone, fixed wing, all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's open for everybody. Just get out there and fly and get some cool shots, cinematic. It doesn't have to be long distance.
Droning says, considering I'm on the other side of Canada, Marcel, would be long range challenge.
Yep. Smarty pants. All right, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Listen, we appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. And Angie, I will do that now while I'm thinking about it, because when I get off of here, I usually shut my computer down.
That's what you do.
I have to start getting ready for tomorrow, man. For tomorrow's always another day. Angie.
Oh, I hear you.
Angie Anderson. There she goes.
Okay, Lawrence. Well, you remember Ascent AeroSystems?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they're back with another thing here, with another one of those coaxial drones, because you remember we were talking back on Wednesday night with those guys, 283, a couple of months ago.
Okay, I do.
About the coaxial drones from Ascent AeroSystems. Well, they're back with this new drone, right? The HELIUS. Now, this HELIUS is a sub 250. It fits right into the sub 250 mark, and it's American made because we know this American company, right? So like I said, this is it's coming up. It comes in at 249 grams. It's a coaxial nano UAV designed for durability and performance, believe it or not. Now, what you did have a video on this.
I do have a video. I was waiting for you to go a little further.
Yeah, this well, believe it or not, they introduced this what is this? Verticon. This took place in Dallas, Texas, where they unveiled this thing. I think it's crazy. It's a sub 250, but what I was saying is designed as a rugged all weather NDAA compliant alternative out there. So if you're talking about small drones that are capable, this what they call it, the HELIUS, it's built for performance, portability, and it's under $5,000 they claim, which happens to have a price tag of $4,499. What I will say about this here, and then you've probably seen this before because we did feature this before.
Oh, shoot.
the larger version of that drone, you're just showing all
I
kinds.
just lost the video, right?
Yeah.
I just lost the video. What the hell? Oh, here it is.
No,
Oh,
you went.
how my video come up?
You went through the video and then it started showing your own.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
Well,
anyhow,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Regardless of that, this drone, like I said, it's not a drone for you to take out in the park and see how far you can go and how high you can fly.
No.
This is a work drone, and it's a sub 250. It's NDA compliant. It's probably going to make the blue UAS list or NDA compliant. So, so something like this being that, and like I said, it's two rotors that spin against each other. So you've seen this before in the helicopters, where helicopters have the one prop that spins in one direction, the other prop spinning in the opposite direction. It's the same thing. Right. They've now brought this technology to drones, and like I said, they unveiled this at Verticon, which happened to take place in Dallas, Texas. It's a nice drone. I mean, for what
I
it
like
is.
it. I like it. You know why? Because it's different. There's just one thing I don't like.
No, what is it that you don't like?
The price.
What's wrong with the price?
I mean,
but it's not for you to be out there. You know, you're talking about.
I could still want one.
It's ultra portable lightweight it's an ultra portable lightweight aircraft, right? So what are we talking? 4G LTE connectivity, AI, everything is going AI,
Everything that's happening with this thing. Yeah. It's under 250, AI-powered obstacle avoidance and obstacle tracking for smooth flights, 4K ultra low light with digital tilt, pan, and zoom because it's a fixed camera. 4G, so that means incredible stabilization, probably better than Parrot. 4G light connectivity for long-range control.
Don't do that.
I know, I'm sorry. 30 minutes plus of flight time for extended operations, and a top speed of 45 miles per hour, field swappable batteries for uninterruptible missions. So I'm guessing that it would have some kind of battery inside, so while you swap, everything stays on and you can get back.
Probably holds the time probably
and you can get back in the air just really fast.
Because it's cylinder shaped, right? You got a lot of aerodynamics no matter which way it's turning. You know what I mean?
True.
That's what's so great about it.
I like it. I've watched the video several times. I'm like, that would be cooler to pull out of your pocket and fly with than unfolding a DJI drone.
You ain't even right because talking about unfolding stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay. We gotta hit a sponsor, man. It's 6:29. We're not gonna blow this one.
Oh, okay.
You pick one. We didn't do our 6 o'clock one.
I'm gonna get both of them in. Don't worry about it.
All right, go for it.
Jonah, dear, if you're a Part 107 pilot and you're looking to scale your operations, you just want to get out there and do the work and leave all of the office work to somebody else. You're looking for a place where you can build a website, show off all your work, meet new customers, do business with old customers. Then Jonah Deer is for you. Check it out. There's a link in the description.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I'm already registered.
And for 10% off on all Nano products, if you're looking to protect your drones, gimbals, any type of camera system, anything that you desire that is precious to you, they may make a case for it. Check them out. There's a link in the description. They make custom cases as well. I happen to have a custom case myself.
One of a kind. All right, we got them both in.
So
now getting back to that HeliCam, you failed to mention the price of that baby.
Oh no, I did. I did say the price. It was
that's probably in another window.
$99. You know what I mean? For those of you who would like to jump on it because it ain't for me. But what I did wanted to get right along onto was that the FAA, right? And we've been talking this for the longest time, and they've been talking. But you know, the FAA has set to propose a new set of rules for expanded drone use here in the United States. And as you know, what this pertains to, because you know, this they believe that, well, not believe, but this pertains to drone delivery and other services. So according to Transportation Secretary Mr. Sean Duffy, and right there, you know, he believes that it's necessary for these rules to be proposed because they need to give more attention and clarity to those who are developing these drones, and I guess that's and personally working with those who are actually manufacturing drones and those who are actually working with the drones out there, as according to these rules making. Because as far as what I'm understanding is that the Commercial Drone Alliance, they urged the Trump administration to come up with these to push for these rules to be proposed. So now, from what I'm understanding here now, the FAA is working to push forth these proposed rules for drones because they're looking for, like I said, they push for the Trump administration to push forth these proposed rules, but they're looking for rules that will allow commercial drone UAS or drones, as we know, to operate beyond visual line of sight. And that is something that we've all been talking about. And then there was words talk, you know, I don't know, you know, we've all heard in the past of talk about Part 108 to expand Part 107. But these rules they claim are essential to enable the industry's success. So I guess this will normalize commercial drone operations that, you know, were usually deemed as illegal, as, you know, you can't do that, you know, those type of things. Whereas that we used to have to get waivers and stuff like that to do certain things. Now they want to make certain things deemed as normalized. And I'd like to know how far this is actually going to go. And to without having to submit some kind of waiver, you know, you understand what I'm saying? You know, Lawrence?
Yeah. Well, the reason that they're pushing this on the Commercial Drone Alliance, for those of you who don't know about it, I put a link in the chat. Vic Moss is on the Commercial Drone Alliance as well, with a lot of other drone pilots and influencers and everyone that has something to do with the drone community, or they're trying to get something done. And in order to get it done, they needed to step to the United States with an organization like the Commercial Drone Alliance for us commercial workers, for us who work commercially in the field, etc. They are our advocates. And by stepping to the FAA and asking them to pursue this beyond visual line of sight will advance not just work for us, but work for delivery drone, you know, zip line. They go as far as to talk about companies like Amazon Prime, which has their proprietary drone, Zipline, their proprietary fixed wings, and they go on to say Amazon Air is catered to carry 5-pound packages over 15 miles. Zipline's fixed wing can carry a 3.8-pound package up to 50 miles and drop it within a 50-foot circle. Wings craft is small, a lot smaller, and can carry a 2.5-pound load over 12 miles. Now, in order to make all of this happen, we need some type of regulatory rules that these companies can start going by.
These companies are actually operating on trial basis.
Right. Trial. Need to make it real.
But everything has been done through waiver as opposed to certain other platforms and stuff like that out there. But like I was saying that, with this, there's, like you said, there is some rules that need to be clarified and a direct form of where we're going with this, because, like I said, Mr. Duffy also goes on to say that this is going to happen somewhere else, and we're just going to end up adapting the technology and from somewhere else and then bringing it to our country and using it to develop it, whether it be
because we're too far behind.
Right, because we're too far behind. So it's best we get ahead of this and do something. Or it's going to be developed for doing something, whether delivering packages or whether we're delivering groceries. But we're going to end up bringing somebody else's technology, and it doesn't make sense to do that. So instead of falling behind, it's best that we do something to get ahead.
Hey, what's up, Ray?
And I don't think that that's being impulsive.
It's not. It's something that
is necessary. It's a need for it.
It's necessary, and it's something that we're lacking in as a country. We're trying to keep up with the latest technology.
Thinking.
Huh?
I'm glad to see that somebody is actually thinking up there.
Yeah. They want to keep up. Other countries have this stuff. Zipline has already been successful in Africa. They come here to the United States to show us how it's done with a fixed wing. Amazon Prime Air has been making deliveries. We know Walmart has been using their drones to make deliveries. It does work, but like you said, it's all on a trial basis, and we need to turn it from trial to real.
Well, it's not so much that Zipline was operating in Africa and they came here to show us how to do it. It's not even about showing us how to do it. It's about meeting regulatory standards. Right. You don't want the problems. This is a world of insurance when it comes to the United States. And you don't need the problems. So you have to make sure that things are right.
Agreed.
But, yeah, understandable. I see what the FAA is going with this, and I think that it's good, because it's not only for just these drones that are going to be making deliveries that we're talking about, but it's for also other commercial uses of drones, such as when we're out there working for other utilities and other things out there that people are working doing commercial drone use. So it falls into a lot of things.
It affects everybody.
What's up, Phil?
It affects everybody. Hey, Phil. What's up, Ray Kelly? And you know what? It's good to have a live stream that talks about stuff other than just DJI drones and just drone, because you can talk DJI drones all you want, but do you know what it takes to keep these things in the air? Do you know what it takes to work with these things?
It's funny you mentioned that, because it's something I wanted to talk about tonight. And, we talk about it a lot, and we've been talking about it before it's even become an issue, and we've actually, with anybody that's got any of the last 3 editions of DJI drones, of the AI technology that's in these drones. But how do drones and AI revolutionizing the utility industry, or in inspections, actually? And I was also, I looked at that and I looked at it, I was like, how and why? Because, to talk about that, you say into saying to what? Inspect and modernize, the ways that the infrastructure, is kept. What I mean by that is, you're talking about using the data and using the data that's captured by the drone and analyzing it with different various processes
results
to come up with different, build the different results that you're looking for, or actually to say that we know of with certain machine learning, to basically automate your whole visual aspect of the inspection. And we've had the luxury of working with certain things like that and being able to use that. But basically, what is the reason for these drones and the usage of the AI technology? And the only thing is basically really to enhance the safety and the the efficiency of what it does and what it brings, is because what does the drones actually capture? The drones really don't capture anything more than what has been being done for the last 20 years or so, 30 years, 20 years, because this is not used
20 years.
20, 30 years, right? Because
right,
this is not only used for cell towers, it's used for transmission and distribution lines as well. Excuse me. So
radio towers.
Right. So anything. So when you talk about that, so what does it do? Empowering the utility, providers with the ability to monitor and manage their systems. So, a lot of people wonder, like, say, okay, well, drones have only been around for a short space of time, and using them in inspections hasn't been as long. So when you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, right?
Yeah.
And you talk about, well, what other way would you be able to capture this? Well, then you either have to send somebody up there to look at these things, and no matter what it is, or get pictures of it somehow from a helicopter, whatever. And whether you believe it or not, and I didn't know this either until I got into the actual business of it, but the drone, believe it or not, can actually capture more data than the helicopter, because the helicopter is going to go up and it's going to take 2 to 3, 4, 6 pictures, whereas that the drone is going to take 50, 60 or more pictures of the same image and different angles and different, and perspectives, and it can get in closer and be able to show you these different perspectives. And then what it can actually do with this software and the data that they have is to be able to analyze, be able to compare in certain times of the year, software, with the software, and being able to look at certain anomalies and damages that occur to their systems and their products along these towers or poles, whatever it may be, and to be able to do the maintenance. And everything is about preemption, being able to get there earlier and get the work done, get it done before the damage becomes a problem. So with analyzing the software, being able to capture this data with the drone, some of this software that is done, like, we've used software, Lawrence, where it captures this data. We actually capture it and we upload this data straight into their
to AI. They tell us AI checks the work,
and it creates a whole package when we set it up for the delivery to the customer. So I don't know, the company does whatever it does with the hocus pocus, and it makes whatever it does for the company. But I don't know.
Like Herman mentioned, we got to experience working with this AI, with an AI option through a company that was subcontracting us. And we found out a lot of the work, the simple stuff, the AI was checking the simple stuff, but and I guess they were just introducing it, Herman, if you think about it, because by now the AI should be checking more complicated work. We were given a shot list. We had to make a series of shots, right, Herman? And some of the shots were automatically approved by the AI. And some of the, you remember, and some of the shots we had a human had to look at. The AI said, "Oh, it's okay, but it's got to be passed but through a human before it's put through final." And yeah.
Well, go ahead.
And I don't know if you're ready to get into the company. I like what Buzz.
What I wanted to talk about was the fact that the so much of the data that is collected, because the more you can do inspections, the more and more and more you can do inspections, and you can analyze data, you can actually prevent certain things, like I mentioned, like the towers and poles and stuff like that, certain anomalies that you might see, certain times that you might notice that it happened the same time last year or 2 years ago, with all that happened within like 3 to 4 years, if we have all this data we've collected throughout all this time.
Yeah.
So you can actually see where this wear happens, and you can actually improve things before there are faults. And that's what you don't want, is the faults. Talking about data and stuff like that, and collecting of data, we now have a lot of guys had issues with it because guys are DJI fanboys, but it was called drone in the box before DJI had a dock system.
Yes.
And now that we have that, and it's being implemented in places, you can do more and more and more inspections of the same place to actually catch these things, to see this wear on their systems before it becomes a problem, and you can get in and get things changed. And honestly, there comes times, as we know, just like us that fly drones, we're talking about the Mavic 4 Pro coming out, and we haven't even finished digesting the Mavic 3 and the Mavic 3 Pro. So technology increases and it continues, and they have new and improved things that they can actually implement to their systems, and they can see where, instead of putting in replacing that, we can come up with a new system and just do a total overhaul. And we've done like pre-site construction, right, where guys have where there's a pre-site construction, they want to see the site before they do a construction of the site. So there's been a couple of things, like and I hope that things pick up, because the springtime's coming.
Well, see, I wanted to go back to the story that we talked about before this, because in order to do these inspections and have these drones in a box, go out and do inspections, and have AI take over, you'll always need some kind of human interaction first of all. But that goes back to the regulations that we need passed by the FAA to put through this flying beyond visual line of sight, make it the norm for businesses.
Box will already get beyond visual line of sight because of the cameras and stuff involved in it.
Right, and it's remote location.
Right.
And the remote location, but what I did, go ahead.
Go ahead. What's it?
What I did find out was not we, but I could speak for myself. When Herman and I were doing cell tower inspections, I never realized how much AI is being used. AI in the drone, to keep from getting too close to the cell tower. AI in the software that tells us, hey, this picture goes through automatically, go on to the next shoot, stuff like that. It's imperative, and I believe this wholeheartedly. Just like they used to say, you'll have people who know how to use the computer and you'll have people who don't. AI, it will be like that in the future. There'll be a society that knows how to use and work with AI, and there'll be a society that doesn't.
Well, that's also like with anything, but especially with as people get older. But what I do like is that the fact that these softwares will help these companies being able to schedule maintenance and being able to schedule changes and repairs before they become a problem. And that's the most important thing. And that companies like Buzz Solutions, like you were mentioning, Buzz Solutions, they help utility companies do just that, with some of their stuff, that their software and stuff that they have with their AI powered software, and being able to locate certain anomalies and work with certain things with pilots, and being able to basically feed off of the pilot and learn from the pilot, and that's why, and we didn't actually have software like that, but
that advanced, right?
Yeah, we did have software that we worked with, and I thought that was a good thing. I thought it was a really,
Well, see, the advantage to Buzz Solutions is their software grows with the company and the pilot. In other words, where Herman and I are getting photos or certain shots approved by AI, Buzz Solutions does better than that. You'll take all of the data and say they're looking at a power distribution pole. Okay, the semiconductors on that pole may age over a period of 2.5 years. Buzz Solutions software says, okay, we realize the last time you changed this was 2.5 years ago. And instead of having to change it every 2.5 years, why don't you change it every 2 years? And maybe you'll get more wear out of it. The software can look at this and analyze when was the last time you did maintenance on that semiconductor or that distribution line, etc.
And it's funny because this is something that was done years ago in the automobile industry.
Really?
Yes, and this is why they've been able to make the parts in your car cheaper and cheaper, because years ago they realized that this part doesn't break, so we got to make it out of materials that will make it so that you have to replace it.
Well,
So what this technology is doing is making it possible for you to be able to make these changes before these things become a problem, before it breaks,
before it becomes costly.
Right.
Before it becomes costly. But we have a short video from Buzz Solutions. If we haven't explained AI and in the drone community, maybe this will help a little better. It's about 1 minute and 45 seconds long, but they do go into detail explaining who they are, etc.
Here at Buzz Solutions, our mission is to safeguard the world's energy infrastructure. Through our Power AI platform, we make inspections safer, faster, and more cost-efficient than ever before. There are 7 easy steps to using our platform. Manage projects for transmission and distribution inspections. Access our platform with quick and easy uploads. Process uploaded images to detect faults using our AI algorithms. Make inspections safer with our data mapping and asset tracking. Visualize structure location and status. And prioritize and collaborate on structure inspections. Manage asset data and collaborate on structure reviews with industry-leading accuracy for anomaly detection. Utilize our human-in-the-loop workflow to edit and change AI-detected faults. And provide subject matter expert feedback to improve the accuracy, robustness, and personalization of AI algorithms. Visualize overall insights and inspection results all in one place.
You know what I think is interesting about this video?
What's that? Go ahead.
How the AI voice on it sounds almost just like the CEO of the company.
It does. It does sound like what's her name? Caitlin Albertoli is the CEO. I had to say that slowly. Buzz Solutions. Now, one last thing. The best thing about that I like about this software, it learns with your company and grows with the pilot. So a pilot may be in the habit of circling half of the semiconductor as opposed to the whole thing. The AI will go back behind them and say, well, the last two pilots enhanced the whole semiconductor or insulator. I'm going to do that also. And you'll have both versions, the short version and the long version. That may slip through unnoticed by a human, but the AI would notice that. Because you're sending Herman, because you're sending, when you're mapping a pole or something or inspecting, you send in hundreds upon hundreds of pictures. When we map cell towers, they want for each rotation, or for one, they want
Or at least
200 to 400 photos.
Well, it's at least 60 pictures per angle.
Yes, but they want, if you shoot in the hundreds, they like it even better, because I didn't realize that they use Pix 4D until I did some research. But Pix 4D loves pictures, and the more pictures you have, the more detailed it is, which makes sense, right?
Right, because then they can see, like I said, more anomalies and stuff like that.
Right. So right now,
before we get out of here, Lawrence, because we're getting to that time to get out of here, was that seems like there's been an approval up in Canada, right, for them to be able to use drones to be able to drop articles for first responders to save lives.
Yes. The CAA has approved this.
They got approval. Kudos for them.
So you guys up in Canada, if you're at the beach and you hear somebody's drowning, and you see the lifeguard trying to get to it, and a drone carrying a buoy or something, or a flotation device, Canada has just gotten the okay to do this, like they're trying to do here in the States. And I think kudos to Canada for coming up and initializing this, right?
Thank you, Canada. Because now you don't have to wait for the guy to get out there. That thing can be dropped before he gets out there.
Yep. The drone can launch and be there a lot quicker than the lifeguard struggling through the water to get to you.
Yeah. Anything to save lives. Drones doing good, so that's what we talk about. But yeah, Lawrence, I just wanted to mention that before we get out of here, because we could go on and on about this, drones.
Oh, the AI thing? Yeah.
And we can go on and on about that, because we didn't even talk about the software that we use, and I mean, I'm quite sure that some people are actually familiar with one of the softwares, but I mean, everybody uses it. I mean, not just in working with drones, but Salesforce is another that enables
AI guided. Their AI guided Salesforce
to work easier too. So there's a lot of platforms out there.
Because the company that subbed us, they use Salesforce to print our worksheets out.
To do what
worksheets,
business work.
What shot sheets we needed for that site.
Well, that's an actual business work isn't done in Salesforce, but in their actual software was where their shot sheets
drone days
for the software for the producing the 360s and the models and stuff that they needed.
Drone Days says, but the girls from Baywatch look much better than a drone. Well,
you'll still see the girls. You'll still see the girls, but they won't have to bring you out the
right.
Okay, at least you could be conscious when they get there to help you.
Right, and when you're drowning, you can't see them diving in the water anyway.
Right, and if you're unconscious, you can't enjoy the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Thank you, Eldon. Eldon says, thank you. Thanks for all you guys. Those guys do for the community. Good content and information. We try our best. Marcel has a Discord link. for you guys to check out, because I that is part of the contest. Okay. We will keep talking about it. If you don't know what contest, we'll be posting information about it in those guys, and we will also be
Well, post it in a couple
mentioning it again here on the live stream.
Post it in a couple of groups.
Yeah. And with that, I got to fly my new drone today.
Is that it? Is it time to get out of here?
That's it, bro. Be safe, fly safer. We thank you all. We appreciate you all. Thank you, Marcel, for coming on.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Now I got to find an FPV pilot to come on next week.
Okay. Well,
Let's
guys, hey, you guys fly FPV? Hey, shoot Lawrence or
hit me up,
message or whatever. Hit us up.
Hit me up, Eldon. Any of you guys that fly FPV,
we'll show it. We'll show it, and we'll have you on in your own little segment.
Even if you fly the potato, or as some used to call it, the POS, the piece
How
of
many
shit.
you said it?
Sky Control from Hawaii. You know what? I'm gonna hit you up this week, bro. We're gonna have you on next week. That's it right there. We're gonna have dude on next week.
You know, next week we're in Sky Control Productions from Hawaii.
I'll hit them up and
with us next week.
Now we only have a 10 to 12 minute time slot, so either you're gonna have to learn to talk really fast and get me at least a 1.5, 2-minute video. I'll talk to you over Facebook. Listen, we got to get out of here. My stomach's talking to itself.
You said your stomach's been talking?
This guy's been talking long enough to fly 3 drones in 2 locations. Great stream. Oh, thank you, man. We had Limp Dixon on last week. Hit him up. Hit up his YouTube channel. Okay, he was on last week. We had Marcel on talking about his international contest. You can fly a camera drone. You can fly FPV. You can enter the camera drone and FPV if you want. We'll talk about that a little later on.
He's going to do a live stream on it. So a link to his YouTube channel is in the description. Make sure you check Marcel out. Make sure you check out his live stream. More about the contest will be on there.
I have the video. I'm going to post it in
next week.
Those guys also
Control Productions on here, and hopefully we can get Dan the Man on here very soon.
Oh yeah, I'm working on it.
Let's go.
You know what? All right, that'll work.
Let's get it. We got stuff going on over here. Let's go. Look, check out some of the other live streams on. I mean, but it's gonna be who's on tonight?
Bill Coast to Coast.
Bill Coast to Coast. I think no. Before that, we got I think that Johnny and Ray is on tonight. So check it out. And then you can go over to Bill Coast to Coast, and in between Bill Coast to Coast, you could check out Jake Sloan, and then after
that's what I was trying to think of. Jake Sloan.
9 o'clock, you got Dobo supposed to be coming on. He's supposed to have his most controversial guest ever. So I mean, I'm doing the most shout outs ever, but nobody shouts me out. But that's okay. But it was okay. That's all right.
Listen, you get used to the abuse. Harper State, what's good, man?
Lawrence, you got anything to say before we get out of here? It's that time.
Be safe, fly safer.
People watching.
I'm gonna start cussing. I'm so hungry.
You got 17 people watching, but like you said, be safe and fly safer. And with that, guys, we'll see you next time with those guys. Good night, everyone.
Canada places 200% tariffs. Wow.
What? Good night.
Little American flags.
What about the big ones?
Check out that link, guys.